Good afternoon. We are here at the Cleveland Children's Museum for the next installation of Cleveland Leadership Center's Leadership Live Discussions. Today we are joined by Judy Payne, co-founder and executive director of the Cleveland Kids Book Bank. My name is Zeke Schmiedel. Judy, thanks so much for being with us here today. So let's start out nice and simple. Tell us a little bit about what the book bank is.
The Cleveland Kids Book Bank provides gently used books for kids in need. Our goal to create a city of readers.
That's wonderful. Who does it specifically serve?
What most people don't realize, Zeke, is that 2 out of 3 low-income families do not own a single children's book. Can you imagine that?
That's terrifying.
Right? So we're here to change that, to make sure that all kids have the books they need to become successful.
And if it's okay with you, would you like going into a little in-depth on how it actually works? Like, how do you distribute the books?
Sure. Well, we opened 3 years ago, and in that short time have distributed 1.8 million books, and we do it through partners, agencies, nonprofits, and schools that help us actually get the books into the hands of kids. And we're always looking for more partners, because you never know who's going to turn the kid into a reader or what book it's going to be.
Okay then. So what inspired you to start the book bank? Any specific event or person in your life?
That's such a good question, Zeke. I think timing is everything. And with the book bank, it was the right time for me personally, and I think it was the right time for our city. Our city came together to make the book bank happen. So many people offered their skills and talents, and here we are today. For me personally, I had been volunteering to put in little free libraries, those cute little kiosks, free book exchanges, right? In Cleveland neighborhoods of need where kids do not typically own books. And they were so popular, the books would fly out and not come back, which was fine because we want the kids to own books. The problem was they were empty too often. And so I turned to the fellow co-founder of the Kids Book Bank and said, I'm not putting out more little free libraries until we figure out how to better support the ones that are out there. And that's when timing was everything. We serendipitously found a partner, an online bookseller, who was able to give us an ongoing monthly supply of between 40 and 100,000 books.
Wow.
And so that, we raced to open up the Kids Book Bank, and it was because of that that we were able to do that. Now, however, let me mention that we're looking to the community to get more books, because we can never have too many.
You're kind of emphasizing this role of the community helping the Children's Book Bank. What can the community do to help with this?
That's such a good question. Okay, so there are a number of things that people can do, and you had the experience this morning volunteering.
Yes, I did. We sorted out books. It was wonderful.
Did you have fun?
Oh yes, I had so much fun. We found so many books. It was great.
Did you recognize a lot of them from when you were younger?
Oh my goodness, yes. I don't know if any of you will remember this or know this, but we found a lot of Goosebump books. R.L. Stein. That was my entire childhood.
Well, they're still favorites.
Oh,
We can never get too many Goosebumps, right? So what happens is volunteers can sign up either as a group or as an individual. They go online to our website, kidsbookbank.org, follow the link that says volunteer, and find a shift that works for their schedule. Folks come in as you did. They get trained on the spot, and they spend time going down memory lanes, sorting and boxing books that they often remember either reading to their kids or remember from their childhood. That's just one of the ways that folks can volunteer. Another thing is, now there are more than 120 little free libraries in Cleveland neighborhoods of need. Those that are outside are insatiable. So what happens is we have on our website a map of locations. The ones that are noted in blue are outdoors. And we welcome folks to come to us to get books, to stock them, or invite people to look at their own bookshelves and to visit libraries and to fill them, which is a great project for families to give kids the experience of doing community service at a young age.
What lessons in leadership have you learned from working at the Cleveland Book Bank?
And that I'm still learning.
Yeah. Yes, bet you are continually learning.
It's an ongoing process. One of the things that I have learned is that it takes a village, and I alluded to that. When Judy and I started out, one of the good things I think we brought to the table is we recognized what we couldn't do on our own. And we found folks who were willing to offer their time and talent to round out the picture to bring us to where we are today. For example, so it's really being willing to ask for help when you need it and recognizing when you need it and appreciating people when they give it.
It's a wonderful lesson. To have a little fun, what's the most fun thing you have about your job? The most fun thing you get to do, possibly daily, or a fun memory you remember?
Okay, actually, I'll give you a fun memory.
Ooh.
My daughter had to do community service hours.
Don't we all?
Right? And so, well, she, like a lot of people, unlike a lot of people, left it to the last minute, but we won't go there. Anyway, she had to do community service hours and then she had to write a reflection. So I had gone back to grad school later in life. Didn't even realize that my daughter was aware of that. And so when she wrote her reflection, she shared how cool it was to see books that she remembered reading as a child, and how neat it was to see that the time her mom had spent in grad school was paying off, which meant a lot to me. Let me add one other thing that I think is really kind of neat. We have 800 plus partners that help us get books to kids. So we're an interesting intersection, a juncture where people find themselves when they need free books. And so I delight when I'm able to connect partners. When a partner shares an experience that can be inspiring or something from which others can learn, I love making those connections. So that for me is really, really fun.
Wonderful. Well, we're talking a lot about books. I mean, they're kind of a part of your job daily.
Let me mention one other thing that I forgot to mention.
Oh.
Did I tell you we need more books?
I believe, but you want to reinforce that?
I do, see. So here's the thing. We need folks to do book drives either at school, at their church, at their place of business. The other thing is we have placed outdoor collection bins in 7 locations in Cleveland, mostly in the suburbs, where it's convenient for the community to actually drop off their books. And we're looking for more sites, but right now we have one in Chagrin Falls, Orange, Brecksville, Lakewood, Bay Village, and Fairview Park.
What kind of books would you like us to drop off?
Good. So, in particular, our greatest demand and where we can have the greatest impact are board books. What most people don't realize is that early brain development is key for kids. And to build language skills, to build their vocabulary, books are a tremendous resource. And the first 3 years of life is when kids need to be exposed to language. And so our books are a wonderful resource, and we're trying to get those to as many families as we can. About 4,000 families are actually getting them delivered to their homes monthly by various agencies. We're teaching them not only how to read with their kids, but giving them the books to make it happen. So we need more board books. We also need more early readers. So that would be for your child who is just starting out in school, just learning how to read. And to be able to meet the 3rd grade reading guarantee, which is critical to be reading by 3rd grade, you have to have had access to a lot of books. And so we can never have too many early readers to provide kids. And the other thing is, we can never have enough books with people of color, books that reflect diversity.
Very important. Diversity books are very important in our society right now. Do you want to reinforce why you think so? I know why I think, but why do you think so?
So kids are much more likely, the book will resonate with kids if they see themselves in it. And that's really it in a nutshell. Kids need to be able to relate to the books. It will motivate them to want to read more. And we're getting more, seeing more books with diversity, but we're not there yet.
Well, like I said, we are talking a lot about books. What is one of your favorite books?
How did I know you were going to ask that?
Oh, it's kind of obvious from the beginning.
I have to tell you, one one of my favorite books that I read to my kids was Love You Forever.
Oh.
And every night I would sing. There's a part of it that I would sing badly, but I do it anyway.
Still saying it.
Yeah, I did. But that's probably my favorite.
Well then, is there something you would like to talk about?
Let me think about that. Yes, actually there is. So we have 3 priorities. One I alluded to was early childhood. It's critical to get books in the hands of young children because if they lag behind in kindergarten, they often stay behind. So that's priority number 1. Now, priority number 2 is to make sure kids have what they need to become readers. You know, you learn to read and then you read to learn. So we want them to have the skills to be able to read to learn. And then the third thing is the summer reading slide. So sadly, low-income kids often lose 2 to 3 months of reading achievement every summer. And so every summer that we don't address that is a summer we can't recover. And so we are passionate about arresting the summer reading slide, looking for ways to make sure kids have books and continue to read. And this is without regard to income. Frankly, all kids need to be reading during the summer. It's just particularly important for those who are low income.
You're talking about the summer reading slide, and I think it's a wonderful statement. Do you want to talk more about it? Maybe does this happen with other topics at school? What is this summer reading slide?
So kids need to read at least 6 books to maintain the reading level that they accomplished or achieved by the end of the school year. Otherwise, they're stepping back and having to recover that.
Oh, I see.
Over cumulative years, they're going to lag behind.
Oh, and so when summer comes and they're not at school every day.
Exactly.
I see.
Exactly. So it's a huge problem, and it's you know, one that is cited by Eric Gordon as one of the chief problems that is faced by the kids in his school district, Cleveland Metropolitan School District. I think we have a question from the audience.
Oh, we do. Let me take this up. This is from the Carrie Bacola, I believe. Am I saying that right? Carrie Bacola? Okay, I hope I'm saying that right. My 8-year-old son and I have been filling the little free libraries, and a wonderful side effect is he has been reading more. Thank you, Judy.
I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it.
Thank you very much.
So much.
It brings up the fact that filling these things is helping people see that reading is a wonderful effect for their children and for themselves.
I love that. I hadn't. That's a benefit that I wasn't aware of. So that's really, really cool.
Oh, that's wonderful. Thank you
You
very
know
much.
what? And my hope is that, Carrie, you and your son, when you go to stock a little free library, will find kids there who will get the benefit of your son's book, because there's something really heartwarming when you see how excited kids get to get a new book that they are able to keep. And I hope you have that experience.
Thank you very much again, Carrie Bacola. Now, we were talking a lot about children's books and stuff like that, but when I went to the Kids Book Bank, we were also supplying teen books and young adult books. Do you think this is a smaller section, or is this still an important aspect of the Cleveland Book Foundation?
So, we have books for all reading levels. My dream is that there will be equal demand for teen books as for the books for younger kids. Because it will tell me that the kids are reading at that level. Now, I know you're really busy and you don't have time for leisure reading, so that accounts for some of the reason that we have excess capacity with higher reading levels, but that's not the only reason. So hopefully in time, all kids will be reading so proficiently and be so eager to have new books that our teen books will be just as popular as our books for younger children. But we do have a lot of books for teens. Interestingly enough, what we've been able to do is books where we have excess capacity, we've been able to provide to school districts outside of Cuyahoga County, which has been a wonderful thing for both them and us.
I see. And you're saying that like teens or young adults may have trouble finding time for reading?
Well, my guess is you have a lot of schoolwork.
That is pretty obvious.
Right? So it's hard to find time for leisure reading, so that's definitely part of it. But another one of the problems is that the kids aren't in the habit of reading.
Wow.
Or they're not in the habit of leisure reading. and it's not something that they enjoy. So we're trying to inculcate kids with a love of reading early on, and that will start to show itself when those teen books fly out.
Wonderful. Is there anything else you would like to talk about? I've had this wonderful conversation, and I'm just having fun talking to you.
Thanks, Steve.
What are the books that you see have the most effect on students?
You know what? Here's what's interesting about that. What we hear time and time again, a child is much more likely to read a book if they pick it out themselves, rather than us arbitrarily making the assumption of what they might be interested in. So that makes all the difference in the world, is letting kids pick out their own books. And even if it's a little harder than they might be able to read, they'll still benefit because it's something that piques their interest. Yeah. The other thing that a lot of people may not realize, and let me qualify this, we get a lot of books for adults. We do not want books for adults, but we get them by accident. And so we find opportunities to give those to the community as well. In particular, cookbooks, which we
love those.
Right? So we are able to give those to adults who may not be comfortable reading, because sadly, the percentage of adults who are illiterate or functionally illiterate in our community is extremely high. So it's been a pleasure to be able to provide these cookbooks as a way of introducing or reintroducing reading into their lives.
Well, we're talking a lot about reading, but of course reading needs to come from where the book is made, authors. Do you have anything to authors who are trying to make books for a world where you're trying to distribute them?
I'll tell you, we just need books reflecting diversity. That's it. That's in a nutshell. I wish we had more, and I think it's changing. I really do. More and more folks are writing with that in mind, but most of what we get is gently used. They're not new books. So it's going to take a while for them to go down the pipeline until we have enough to provide.
Books about diversity, very important in our growing climate and very important for readers and authors alike. One of my favorite actual books about diversity was, I believe it was called Concrete Skyline. Have you ever heard of it?
I haven't.
It was a wonderful book me and my mother had when we were younger. It was about an African-American family, and they would sit on top of their house and they would eat chicken, they would watch the sky. It was a wonderful book, and it had a beautiful art style. Well, was there any book like that for you? Maybe when you were younger?
Nothing is coming to mind. I'm sure when we're done I'll think of a lot, but right now nothing's coming to mind. Yeah.
Well, before we actually came on, when we were setting up the set, we showed the special people, special ways. We put that right there, and you were like, wow, I love that book.
Well, any books that show diversity, I'm a fan.
It's a wonderful book, that. Wow. I do believe that was a wonderful interview. Thank you for your time.
Thank you so much. I hope we can get lots of folks who are interested in the Kids Book Bank and will want to help us in any number of ways, from volunteering to donating books to becoming a partner to distribute books, or financial support is always helpful as well.
Definitely. Well, thank you for tuning in. My name is Zeke Schmiedel. This was Judy Payne, the co-founder and executive director of the Cleveland Kids Book Bank. Thank you once again.
Thanks, Zeke.